for this third INSTO Insights webinar, overview of measurement efforts in the area of water management by INSTO members. That means water is one of the 11 key issue areas. Just having problems in moving my slides. Just a second. Here it is. Highly relevant, I said already, because it is a key resource for tourism. It's not only that services to tourists are depending on water very much, but it's also the quality of water, the drinking water, but also when I have lakes or when I have the seaside, that this is highly relevant, or the use for water that goes beyond the services to tourists, such as the irrigation of areas for hotels or other issues. But also timely. Why I'm saying timely and why we have chosen this particular date, because in exactly 30 days in New York will be launched one of the biggest conferences dedicated to the topic of water. It's the UN 2023 Water Conference, to be taking place in New York, 22nd to 24th of March. And here the outcome, the main outcome shall be the water action agenda, where it is where commitments by the various sector, by the member states of the UN are the most important elements of moving ahead in the area of SDG 6 on water and sanitation, the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all, what this SDG 6 is about. Coming back to our world of observatories, our world of destinations, within the work of the observatories, we are compiling a lot of information. We are asking a lot from our observatories, namely to measure in the 11 key issue areas. At the same time, we are providing, I believe, lots of information, also putting together information that we believe can be of use for any observatory, not necessarily only a member of INSTO, but any destination, any observatory around the globe. For this purpose, we are compiling information on the so-called repository of tools and resources that you can find on the UNWTO INSTO website. The link is indicated here below. And there you can find lots of information, but also the webinars. So we are having now a second edition of webinars that we call the INSTO Insights webinars. And this today is the third INSTO Insights webinars. And we had already one technically INSTO webinar on water and wastewater about 1.5 years ago, where some other INSTO members have presented their findings, for instance, the Canary Islands, but also Lake Dover. All this information is posted online, the recordings and the presentations are there and can be accessed by anybody who is interested in these topics. Having said that, we are coming more, we were getting deeper now into the topic, meaning we have the 11 key issue areas that INSTO members are committed to measure. One of them is water management. On this repository on the website of UNWTO, you can find lots of information under each of the key issue areas is outlined here. That means when you click on water management, there's several pieces of information coming up, like the excerpt from one of the, I think, guiding books for sustainable tourism management at the destination level, but also other information like the presentations, like other data sets from the OECD, from the World Bank, but also on the SDG, the indicators, the various that are out there and that you can see in these PowerPoint presentations are put there. So everybody with interest in water management and its measurement can find information here. These are living documents. That means whenever you have a paper or some information that you believe would be valuable for having on this website, we invite you to share this information with us so that we can upload it afterwards. Having said that, we talk about water and management of water at the destination level today. We will hear more about it from our INSTO members that have kindly accepted to speak at today's webinar. But a guiding document that I've mentioned before is this green book, the Indicators of Sustainable Development for Tourism Destinations, where we have hundreds of indicators in various areas and also several in the field of water. Here we work with baseline indicators that we believe need to be there when you talk about measurement of water. Here you have the key areas where the consumption of water, but also the field of conservation initiatives and results. And there you have several indicators, or water shortages, or allocation of water among users such as agriculture, local residents, tourist accommodation, etc. Are listed. Having said that, the analysis that we are doing is not only to see which indicators are out there from UNWTO side, and we are working with indicators for decades now, but also what other indicators are out there. So we are looking into the European Tourism Indicator System, the ETIS, GSTC, and others like OECD, for instance. What we then do is we go into the work of the INSTO observatories. We analyze the reports. These are the preliminary reports. Preliminary reports prepared by destinations when they want to join INSTO as a member, and annual reports. So each member of INSTO needs to submit an annual progress report. So we are analyzing it, where we then see which indicators are used, which data sources are there for them, where data are coming from, and also to see how often this in this area measurement is carried out. Having said this, the result of such studies or such research is Excel files where we are putting all the information. So on the upper line, you will see the different indicators that exist from ETIS to UNWTO ones. Then we take the names of the observatories, as you can see here, some examples, and then all the indicators taken from these reports that I just mentioned before. And then interesting for us to see, and I think this is a learning process, to see also that some destinations not necessarily are using those that we are aware of, but they have developed their own indicators. One small example I'm bringing here by South Tyrol, one of the INSTO members, that is using also the amount of water used by the snow guns, because we are here talking about a mountainous destination. So that gives us a good overview what is out there, who is using what. Here, for instance, we can now say that one of the most used or often used indicators by INSTO members is the water use, the total volume consumed in liters per tourist per day. About this indicator, we will hear more by our presenters, but also an indicator that has to do with the conservation of water and the reuse of water is a number of establishments participating in conservation programs for irrigation, the flushing systems in the hotels. I think this is something where also Claire from Sustainable Hospitality Alliance will touch upon.